Aha, blank. There we go. It's a wonderful example. But perhaps I can catch that. I started looking at things which I had written some time ago, and I was delightfully surprised about how intelligent they were. I thought, my goodness, he really had something, that guy. I took a poem from, various poems from D.H. Lawrence, his later poems. Oh, it is beautiful. Can I go and fetch it? Well, I can get fetch bits. Oh, yeah. It's here, actually. This is what I was reading. It's a poem called Phoenix. Are you willing to be sponged out, erased, cancelled, made nothing? Are you willing to be made nothing, dipped into oblivion? If not, you will never really change. Oh, wow, and I think so what I wrote about that was that if you don't allow yourself to become empty of your known self, of who you think that you are, you will never change. I was having trouble with remembering things, and I went to see a neuropsychiatrist who diagnosed an early onset dementia. My memory is now very shaky. If I read, when I turn the page and think, what was that about? I can't remember. I can look at YouTubes, but I'll find that if Felice says to me, what did you watch? It's as though she's set an exam for me which I'm going to fail. So I have a feeling about things, but I can't verbalize it. And that's pretty frustrating. There's a process which has been called denial. And I think I've told the people involved what I think is happening, but then I live my life as though it's not happening. I chop wood and I make sure that there's stuff for the fire and I cook. I live physically much more healthily than many people of my age. And so it's not something that, in general, is in the forefront of our minds, I think. Mental state is such that I keep forgetting what I'm doing. And so I have this image in my head of a slightly smelly person with shuffly slippers, moving blankly around. And that is a horrible thought. Yeah, I would like to avoid that. But I think I would like to avoid it mostly because I wouldn't hate to be remembered like that. Yeah. There's the indignity of being completely useless, and raises with it a kind of concern about, well, what do I do? Do I go gently into that good night, or do I rage against the dying of the light? Right now, I'm not raging. I feel that this is my lot. It is what it is. But that somehow doesn't take away the pain or sense of responsibility. I feel that it's unfair for the people around me. It's unfair for Elise, my wife, and for my daughters. The thought of causing them, all of them, pain, day after day, year after year even, watching this once well energized, thoughtful, loving person turn into a thing. I think that's how I see it. When I think how I would like to be remembered, the word kind comes to me. Yep. God. Oh, God. This is a surprise. Yep. Phew. So as I sit here, I can immediately think of all the unkind things I have done. But, perhaps we can deal with those. I have been asked in my time, is it just love? And I would say, just love? Because I think, what is that song? Love is all there is, or something. I'd like all the people that I've been involved with, who I have loved, to know that I love them. And I have found that hard to express face to face. I have actually thought of writing letters, but I haven't done that, and I think that is something that I will do, to make that clear to the people that I love. I see as a very important thing to do. I've probably spoken pretty clearly to my wife, and I think she knows how much I love her. And I think probably my daughters know how much I love them as well. But yeah, gosh, what a thought. I need to think about saying goodbye and I love you before I can't. As a therapist, we talk a lot about becoming conscious of how we imprint the world, to try and approach things without the expectation that they should be this way or that way. Because then everything is new, and fresh. Like springtime. We've got a kind of a loft room, and I sometimes just walk up there and look at the view and think, God, it's beautiful. I am so lucky. We look up at the mountain every day. It's different every day. If the sun is shining on it, if it's bleak, if it's misty. And you can only really experience that difference if you let go of what you expect or know. I've had a wonderful life and been enormously lucky. I think that's probably why I'm not raging, because there has been such a richness. What is coming is the end, and so you close a book. It's not something terrible or thing, it's just the end, and so one can have the joy of whatever is here now. It's lovely. I would not like any kind of memorial or park bench or anything like that. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, scattered. In this place that I've loved.
Thanks for watching our film. Every story we've made is possible thanks to the support of our patrons. And if you'd like to continue to support us to make stories that explore the infinite beauty of being human, sign up on Patreon. Thanks.